Switzerland should not be rich. It has no oil, no coastline, and almost no natural resources. Just mountains. Yet this small country has become one of the richest, safest, and most respected nations in the world. Swiss salaries are among the highest on earth. Its currency is incredibly strong. Its banks manage trillions of dollars, and millions of people dream of living here. So how did a tiny country with fewer than 9 million people achieve what much larger nations could not? Was it luck? Geography? Or something far more strategic? In this documentary, we'll uncover the real story behind Switzerland's extraordinary success, and by the end, you'll understand why this country has become one of the greatest economic success stories in modern history.
At first glance, Switzerland doesn't seem like a country that should be rich. In fact, if you asked an economist hundreds of years ago to predict its future, Switzerland would probably have been one of the last countries they would choose. Nearly 60% of the country is covered by mountains. The land is rocky. Farming has always been difficult. Building large cities was never easy. Unlike many powerful nations, Switzerland has no coastline. That means no access to the sea, no major ports, and no easy way to dominate global trade through shipping. For centuries, crossing the Alps was slow, dangerous, and incredibly difficult. Heavy snow, narrow mountain passes, and harsh winters isolated entire communities. Everything suggested that Switzerland would remain a small, quiet country hidden in the mountains. But history had a different plan. Instead of seeing the mountains as a weakness, the Swiss transformed them into one of their greatest advantages. Their location placed them right in the heart of Europe, connecting major powers like Germany, France, and Italy. Over time, merchants, travelers, and valuable goods began passing through Swiss territory every single day. The country slowly became a bridge between Europe's largest economies. And that strategic position would eventually change everything. Because the real secret behind Switzerland's incredible wealth wasn't hidden in its mountains. It was hidden inside its banks. Switzerland's greatest resource was never oil. It wasn't gold hidden beneath the mountains. And it certainly wasn't endless farmland. The country's most valuable asset was trust. For hundreds of years, Europe was filled with wars, revolutions, and political instability. Kingdoms rose, and kingdoms fell. Fortunes could disappear almost overnight. Wealthy families, merchants, and business owners needed one thing above everything else: a place where their money would be safe. Switzerland offered exactly that. Thanks to its long tradition of political neutrality and stable government, people began trusting Swiss banks more than almost any other financial institution in the world. Over time, that trust became incredibly valuable. More people deposited their money. More businesses opened accounts. More international investors arrived. The financial industry expanded year after year, creating thousands of high-paying jobs and helping transform Switzerland into a global financial powerhouse. But here's the surprising part. Banking wasn't the only reason Switzerland became rich. In fact, some of the country's most valuable exports don't come from banks at all. They come from factories where perfection is the standard. Switzerland became famous for building products that the entire world wanted to buy. Luxury watches, life-saving medicines, precision machines, and technology so advanced that countries around the world depend on it every single day. And that's where the next chapter of Switzerland's incredible success begins. When most people think about Switzerland, they imagine mountains, chocolate, and luxury watches. But behind those famous products lies one of the most advanced economies on Earth. Switzerland never tried to compete by producing the cheapest products. Instead, it focused on producing the best. Every watch, every medical device, every machine was built with extraordinary precision. This obsession with quality became Switzerland's greatest competitive advantage. Today, Swiss watch brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, Omega, and Audemars Piguet are recognized across the globe as symbols of craftsmanship and luxury. Some of these watches sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Others are worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions. But watches are only one piece of the story. Switzerland is also home to some of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies. Companies like Roche and Novartis develop medicines that improve, and often save, the lives of millions of people. These companies invest billions of dollars into scientific research every year. They attract some of the brightest scientists, engineers, and innovators from around the world. Innovation isn't just encouraged in Switzerland, it's expected. The country consistently ranks among the world's most innovative nations because it values research, education, and long-term thinking. Instead of competing on quantity, Switzerland built its reputation on quality. That strategy has allowed a small country to compete with economic giants many times its size. But even with world-class industries, one question remains. Why are Swiss salaries among the highest in the world? So, what makes Swiss salaries some of the highest in the world? The answer isn't simply that companies pay more. It's because Swiss workers produce more value. Switzerland has built an economy based on highly skilled jobs, advanced technology, precision engineering, finance, and scientific research. Companies don't compete by hiring the cheapest workers. They compete by hiring the most talented ones. Education also plays a major role. Switzerland's education and apprenticeship system prepares young people with practical skills long before they enter the workforce. As a result, businesses gain highly trained employees who can create products and services with exceptional quality. Higher productivity leads to higher profits. And higher profits allow companies to pay higher salaries. But earning a high salary doesn't automatically make life easy. Switzerland is also one of the most expensive countries in the world. Rent can cost thousands of dollars each month. Groceries, transportation, and healthcare are all significantly more expensive than in many other countries. Even a simple cup of coffee can surprise first-time visitors with its price. That's why many people say, in Switzerland, you earn more. But you also spend more. Still, millions of people believe the quality of life is worth every franc. Switzerland didn't become one of the richest countries in the world by accident. Its success wasn't built on oil or vast natural resources. It was built on trust, precision, innovation, and a long-term vision for the future. While many countries relied on what was beneath the ground, Switzerland invested in what was inside people's minds. Education, research, engineering, and financial stability became the foundation of one of the world's strongest economies. Of course, Switzerland isn't perfect. The cost of living is extremely high. Housing can be expensive. And the country's strict rules aren't for everyone. But despite these challenges, millions of people still dream of living there. Because Switzerland proves that a nation's greatest wealth isn't always measured by the resources it owns. Sometimes, it's measured by the choices it makes. If you enjoyed discovering the secrets behind Switzerland's success, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll explore more fascinating stories about Switzerland, its economy, culture, history, and hidden secrets in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.